In today's video, I'm going to be interviewing Amber, the representative from Sea Turtle Patrol of Hilton Head Island, and she's going to be explaining why sea turtles are so important to the South Carolina Lowcountry and what you can do to make a difference. So if that interests you, stay tuned because we're getting after it right now. So Amber, thank you so much for taking your time to jump on the channel, talk to me, and talk a little bit to the viewer here. And so you run Hilton Head Island Sea Turtle Patrol. Is that what it's called?
Sea Turtle Patrol Hilton Head Island.
Sea Turtle Patrol. All right. So most people come to Hilton Head, obviously, for the beaches. And few people realize that every summer something remarkable happens. And there's something happening on the beach, and we're going to talk about that. So you often describe yourself as a river rat. I think that was the words you gave to Greg. And you grow up here in the Lowcountry. And looking back, what experiences first made you fall in love with the natural world? And how did you eventually go into protecting sea turtles?
So back then, I would have to say when I was a teenager, Bluffton was the last place you wanted to be because you wanted to go to the movie theater and you wanted to go to restaurants and things that Bluffton didn't have yet. And now it's so different. There's all the amenities that you need in Bluffton, and people have actually heard of Bluffton. But when we were young, there wasn't much to do outside of the river. So you were that was your playground. And we didn't realize how special it was, and we didn't realize that it was so unique to have these experiences. It was just normal for us to be out on the river on a motorboat with no supervision.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how much it was affecting us until we were adults. It sinks in, and you don't realize till you go visit other places that those other places aren't like home. They don't have the things that home has. And all of those things that we absorbed when we were young are just so special that we want to share them with other people. So in addition to being a sea turtle biologist, I run a charter boat business because sea turtles don't pay very well.
Okay.
It's probably the most non-lucrative master's degree on the planet. Marine science.
But it's a good cause.
I love it. And to be honest, I did not see a sea turtle until after college.
Wow.
Because sea turtles are at the beach.
So how did you get interested in sea turtles?
I came home from the University of Georgia with a biology degree, a pre-med degree, which I wanted to go to vet school, but there's only 26 of them in the United States. So it's really competitive. I came home, I started volunteering on the beach with sea turtles. I worked at the scuba shop on Hilton Head, which is not open anymore, but we took people offshore to dive for 1 year. We had a boat. It didn't last very long because it's a 16-mile ride out to 70 feet of water and 15 feet of visibility. But on one of those expeditions, I was taking the anchor off of the wreck so that the crew could pull it back up. And I saw a sea turtle, and I knew what it was. I wasn't afraid of it. I actually wanted to be very still to see if it would come close. And not only did it come close, we were face to face.
Wow.
So their eyes are on the side of their head. Their binocular vision is not very good. So they have to turn their head to see you. And I must have been standing right there in that blind spot.
He didn't know you were there.
He or she, I didn't know. But when it got this close, I just laid back and let it kind of glide over the top of me as I laid on the ocean floor.
Yeah.
And that experience just changed everything. I applied to graduate school with a master's degree in marine science. I went to Hawaii after that and looked at the green and the hawksbill sea turtles. And then I came home and started immediately working back with the sea turtle program. And I started managing it in 2013.
Okay. For someone who dreams about living near the coast, a lot of the people watching this, from up north or California or places, far away from here, what do you think nature has taught you about this place that most visitors will never fully see or appreciate?
So people move here, and I love it when people sign up for my boat tour to get the details, because you move somewhere that's obviously beautiful. I mean, anyone can see that it's beautiful, but it's just like I always compare it to having a diamond ring or something like that. And you have a beautiful diamond ring, but you don't know the history behind it. You don't know the details. Maybe it belonged to the Queen of England and now it's tripled in value.
Yeah.
You know, without knowing the details of what you're looking at, you really don't get the value of it. And there are so many details. So many. And when we were young, we didn't have local ecology in our textbook.
Right.
You know, now they're starting to implement that into the school system. In fact, my organization does. With Sea Turtle Patrol, we go into the public elementary schools with a curriculum. But, you know, why are the oysters stuck together in the Lowcountry? Why do we call it the Lowcountry? Why is the water green? It's actually crystal clear. Your eye plays a trick on you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So a lot of people see sea turtles as beautiful animals, but why should someone who loves Hilton Head understand their story? And what role do you think sea turtles play in the bigger health of the coastal ecosystem?
So one of the things I pull out on my tour is a megalodon shark tooth that I found in the May River. And this was a 50-foot long shark. And I explained to people that we still have them here, but we don't call them megalodon anymore. We call them carcharodon, and they live offshore. They're not inshore unless they're, we think, dropping their pups and leaving, because we don't have food big enough for them back here. But the reason that the sharks survived the dinosaurs is because their food source survived the dinosaurs. And the only predator for a large sea turtle is a great white shark or a tiger shark, a big shark. Mm-hmm. Archelon was the 16-foot long sea turtle that is now called leatherback. Leatherback survived because its food source survived. That's the jellyfish. Jellyfish are like the roaches of the sea. They survived the dinosaurs. So because the jellyfish survived, the leatherback survived, the megalodon survived, which is now the great white. And so without that sea turtle, who's been on the planet for over 100 million years at least, we don't know what the repercussions are. If you've built a framework based on these animals that survived a mass extinction, take out that piece, we don't know what's going to happen, but I guarantee you it would be huge.
Absolutely. You pull out one piece and everything collapses. It's like, what is that, Jenga?
Jenga.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if a family moves to Hilton Head because they want to feel more connected, they want that outdoor lifestyle, why are sea turtles such an important part of what makes the island special?
Sea turtles are important because everybody loves a sea turtle. Mm-hmm. Like if I were protecting the salamander of blah, 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 you know, I would not have the success that I have with sea turtles.
People don't have salamander pictures on their wall.
No, and sea turtles are everywhere. It's a thing. But sea turtles are kind of the ambassador. So one of the programs we have is called Put the Beach to Bed. And we have people go out, pick up trash. You know, it's just not a good look to wake up to trash on the beach.
Yeah.
Plus, when I've found nests and excavated them to move them up to a safer spot, I've often found trash in it.
Wow.
And that's just not being a good steward of the environment. So I can use sea turtles and their habitat as kind of a
representation.
A representative for how we need to treat the environment.
Yeah.
There's use less plastic, because plastic in the environment is going to get in the ocean if you live on an island surrounded by water, if you don't put it in the proper receptacles. But the thing about plastic is sea turtles don't eat plastic because it tastes good or they're just seeking plastic. But in this area, which we call the nursery of the ocean, because we have so many billions of microscopic content. These are larval crabs, larval fish, larval shrimp. One blue crab releases 2 to 8 million eggs in her sponge.
Wow.
They are out there, and when the larval oysters and larval, let's just say barnacles release, those microscopic organisms have to find a hard surface to attach to start to grow a shell. We do not have rocks in the Lowcountry naturally, and there's an explanation for that. But when a larval barnacle, let's just say, finds that hard plastic, they're going to attach to it, and that's what a loggerhead sea turtle eats. Barnacles, hard crustaceans, mollusks like oysters and things like that. So they're gonna eat the plastic in order to eat the barnacle.
Okay, they don't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Take us on a typical morning. Let's say it's 5 a.m. and most of the island is still asleep. What are you and your team looking for, and what might surprise people about the work involved?
So it surprises me that people are cool with getting up at on the beach at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm not a morning person, and a lot of what I do happens at night. But we have 25 volunteers, and they're happy to start at 5 a.m. to do the whole length of Hilton Head ocean-facing beach, which is 14 miles. So 3 go north and 3 go south in trucks. And then we have Mitchellville Beach, which is facing Port Royal Sound. And then we also have the Hilton Head Plantation beaches, which are on the back side of the island. And we've got 137 nests right now on the beach, which is only about 20 nests behind our record-breaking year at this time. So we're having a huge season. So getting up and being in that hot environment, hopefully before most of the tracks are obliterated by human foot traffic. Hilton Head gets a lot of tourism, which is our economy. So we don't mind that. We just like to be able to mark those nests before they get out there. And the marking the nest doesn't help it incubate. It just helps people stay a respectful distance.
Yeah. So the season's looking good.
Oh, yes. This is a big one.
Okay. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Lowcountry, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know every time I put out a new video. My name is David Simcox, host of this channel and a local real estate agent. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to make their move here, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, or 3 years, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you can always book a Zoom call by going to lowcountrylifestylesteam.com. Now, let's jump right back into the interview with Amber. What are some of the biggest challenges? I know you talked about plastics. Any other challenges that sea turtles face today? And which of those challenges are created by people and maybe people don't realize they're causing problems?
So when you're walking the beach at night, you're on vacation. So you're going to be up past midnight most likely, because being at the beach is something you don't experience but that 1 week out of the year. It's a special time. So when I'm on the beach at night, there are still lots of people, 1 o'clock in the morning, so on. So when the sea turtles come out, they come out when the temperature is right. They're cold-blooded reptiles, so they can't come out when it's 90 degrees, 98 degrees. They would overheat and die in the 2 hours it takes for them to do what they have to do. So they come out at night, not because it's dark, but because the temperature is right.
Okay.
So when they come out in the dark, they can't see where they're going necessarily, and a flashlight comes up on them. They're not expecting that. They don't know what it is. People want to see a 400-pound reptile walking out of the water. It's not something you see every day. So they're going to approach it not knowing that what's going to happen is an animal that spent 30 years of its life swimming before it was even able to crawl back on the sand is going to turn that 400-pound body back around after pulling it up to the dry sand with elbows and shoulders.
Yeah, like
no feet.
Army crawl.
Yeah. And it's going to spend all of that time and energy getting back to the water where it feels safe. It's not going to put its eggs in the sand. She might try again a little bit later and further down the beach, but if it happens again and again...
She spent that energy.
Right, she'll just drop her eggs in the ocean because she's got another clutch every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And she has to make room for it.
Okay.
So we don't get that opportunity to have hatchlings.
All right, so keep your flashlights.
Red light is preferred because it's less bright. It's most important when the hatchlings come out of the sand is when the red light is important.
So that brings me to my next question, which is about light pollution. We hear a lot about light pollution, and there are lighting restrictions on Hilton Head for this very reason. What is something as simple as a porch light or an oceanfront landscape lighting such a serious problem for nesting turtles and hatchlings?
Well, mostly hatchlings. So the hatchlings, for whatever reason, and we haven't proved anything yet, scientific community, but the hatchling will prefer an artificial light source over the glow of the moon reflecting on the water. They're looking for water. It's dark. They can't see it. They need to find some indication that there's water there. The moon reflects on the water. That's where they go. But if there's an artificial light and there's a choice, they're going to go to the artificial light.
Okay.
Even if it's, full moon, reflection on the water, bright,
Yeah.
they just prefer it. So as long as those lights in Hilton Head, we have ordinance that says you don't have to turn them off. We don't want you to trip down your stairs if you're still
It's like
up
an
in the middle of the
amber
night.
light or something.
You can do that, but that's not even required. As long as the lights are downward facing and shielded on the beach side,
Yeah.
then we tend to reduce that light pollution significantly and don't need you to change the hue. Some of the houses and hotels that are sea turtle friendly certified have changed the hue to that amber or red or orange spectrum, which does help. Sea turtles can see that spectrum.
Yeah.
But again, for some reason, and we do have a theory on that, the hatchlings aren't attracted to the red hue, just the green, blue, indigo, and violet, not the red, orange, yellow.
And we actually interviewed a lighting company on this channel a few months ago, and he talked a little bit about that, how they specialize in putting in sea turtle friendly lighting on Hilton Head Island. So, all right. So we've also heard about fill in your holes and flatten your sandcastles on the beach. Help us understand this from a turtle's perspective, and what dangers do those seemingly harmless things create?
Well, on Hilton Head, I'm on the beach every day and I notice things. And one of the things I started noticing was that the holes weren't just holes, like a hole.
Yeah.
They were grave sites. Literally, 8 feet deep, 8 feet long. The only way you dig that is A, you're an adult, and B, you have a full-size garden spade with a metal spade. So I documented all of it, incidents, and the town council passed an ordinance that says on Hilton Head, you cannot have a hole deeper than a foot. You cannot dig it with a metal shovel. The plastic shovel can't be bigger than 30 inches, and you must fill it in before you leave.
Okay.
That is impossible to enforce. But the good thing that came from it is that if I see that full-size garden spade, I can have a code enforcement officer confiscate it. And amazingly, the holes have been reduced.
That's great.
And the problem with holes is that when the hatchlings come out of their nest, it's a hole about this big inside that triangle that we have marked off. They have been hatching for 3 days underneath the sand. When they are all out, the majority of them, they will use each other to make their way to the surface. And then they'll wait there for the temperature to drop. And that'll be most likely night. And it could be a storm coming in, just whatever the temperature. And then they come out all together and make their way to the water. And they kind of pie out, but they all enter the water together. Because all of the predators know that food walks off the beach all summer long. So they're going to be patrolling the edge. Statistics say that only 1 in 100 of those hatchlings, and about 120 are in a nest on average,
Right.
only about 1 in 100 of them make it 3 days because of the
Because
predation.
of the predator. Right. It's part of the food
Which
chain.
is natural.
Yeah.
Right? So if 50 of them fall in that hole, 20 of them go to the porch light that got left on, and the rest of them make it to the water. Is that 1 in 100?
Right. Yeah.
None of them make it.
Right. You're disrupting the food system there.
And people will say, well, at least one of them made it to the water. Well, not really.
Yeah,
'Cause
probably
it's
not.
It's not going to be long.
Okay, so what happens when king tides, storms, erosion threaten the nest, and how do you decide when it's necessary to step in and relocate one or
We don't
intervene?
we don't decide at all.
You
The
don't.
South Carolina Department of Natural Resources has very strict guidelines on what you can do. So we can go out within 12 hours of the nest being laid, and we can move the nest landward if it's laid below the king high tide line. And we've taken those GPS marks on Hilton Head to know where that line is. And we have an ArcGIS online program that tells us on our iPad where it is.
Okay.
So we will relocate them further up the beach. But if it's beyond that time frame, we cannot move them. The incubation, after 12 hours, the embryo attaches to the inside of the shell. And if the egg is rotated or moved, it stops incubating. So if a storm comes up and the nest has been incubating for a month and, close to a month, it takes about 2 months for the eggs to hatch, we cannot move that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just got to leave it to nature and let's see what we come up with. We will go back and look for it after the storm passes.
Okay. So let's say that somebody watching this, let's say they're walking on the beach early in the morning and they spot fresh turtle tracks right before the patrol arrives, what should they do and what should they avoid doing?
They should avoid walking on it or disturbing the track so that the patrol, when they come through, they can see it. Because that's what we're looking for. We look at the track and then we find the nest chamber, or landward of those tracks. Enjoy it. I don't need a phone call.
Yeah.
If you saw it, I'm pretty sure we're going to see it.
Okay. So what about if somebody encounters an injured turtle or a disturbed nest or something that just doesn't seem right? Who do they report it to, or what's the proper channel of communication?
So again, DNR has their guidelines, and the number to call is the SCDNR hotline, and it's 1-800-922-5431.
Okay, that's easy. You want to say that one more time?
1-800-922-5431. And that comes from memory, and I can verify that with you, but it's on all of our nest markers.
Okay.
And there are 137 of those on the beach. Right now, there'll be close to 500 of them on the beach at the end of the season. So you should be able to find one.
Yeah.
But it's in Columbia, the radio room, and they distribute the call to the appropriate people, which is usually us.
Okay.
And we will go and take that turtle. If it's still alive, we will take it to the South Carolina Aquarium for rehabilitation.
Okay. So a lot of people watching this, they might say, man, I'd love to be part of something like this. Can you tell us about your volunteers, your turtle trackers, or different ways that maybe people can get involved in this?
So Turtle Trackers is not us at all.
Okay.
That's just a grassroots community organization that their mission is to, pick up trash and fill holes and that sort. To do what we do at Sea Turtle Patrol Hilton Head Island, we have to have a permit from the state and then operate under guidelines, a letter of authorization for those 25 people under my permit.
Okay.
So I have an auxiliary that's limited to 60 people, and they do the outreach programs that are associated with the nonprofit. And if we see that their commitment and their passion is very committed, we will then ask them to be on Sea Turtle Patrol if, someone bails or some opportunity arises. It needs to be limited because I am responsible for all of their actions. If there is something that's done outside of guidelines, it's my responsibility. So 25 people is enough for me to keep track of.
So it's kind of tough to get in.
It is.
Okay.
It is, only because of the endangered species limitations.
And your liability
And
for what they're doing. So tell me a little bit about this virtual reality experience that you've introduced. What is that?
So we have people will call before they come on vacation. We need to know exactly when the nests are going to hatch because we have a 3-year-old that's very smart and needs to see it.
Okay.
And I'm like, we cannot predict that. I cannot tell you within a 10-day window when that might happen. So we have this virtual reality where we have gone out with a filmmaker who, with us, has captured it in the middle of the night. And we also have the nesting activity that has been captured with the VR filmmaker in the middle of the night. And that was hard for us to find. It took 3 nights straight just to find those activities. And so now I can say, you know what, unless you're super lucky, you are not going to capture that. So let's see it on the virtual reality. You feel like you're there and you can see what it looks like because we went to the trouble of finding it for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Turtle Talks. You also host Turtle Talks during the summer. What can people expect if they attend a Turtle Talk, and why do those conversations matter?
We have the Turtle Talk every Monday night in June, July, and August, rain or shine, at Celebration Park from 8 to 9 p.m. on a Jumbotron microphone. We had our first one last Monday night with 100 people. It was the first one, so we thought that was a good showing. It's usually on the grass, so you bring a towel, something to sit on, chair, whatever. And I will go through sea turtle biology, what we do on Hilton Head, answer questions. There's a lot of cool things to know about sea turtles. I've been doing it for 27 years, so I have a lot more to say than what fits into an hour, but I can give you the resources past that talk, what you need to see. I mean, this year we started at 7:30. We're having some kid games and the virtual reality experience.
Okay.
So if you want to come a little bit early, let your kid play some games, get a tattoo, and you can sit down and see that
Not a
virtual
real tattoo.
No, it's a... Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's super cool. Okay, so when people help protect sea turtles, what ripple effects do you see throughout the island community and future generations? Like, how do you think this affects people that get involved?
I've seen a huge transition. I started this in the late 90s, and on Hilton Head, in order to learn about sea turtles, you had to go to the Coastal Discovery Museum, pay them for a sea turtle talk, and that was it. It's out there now and it's free, and I have found ways to get accommodations tax funding for marketing these things, to present it to enhance the tourist experience. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of effort on my part that I didn't get paid for a really long time. But I feel like the community knows a little bit about sea turtles now, and maybe just a little bit to be dangerous, just maybe needs to know more, maybe needs to find out a little bit more. But I think as time goes on, people understand that, interfering with their nesting habits is a problem. Lights, holes, leaving your personal property on the beach overnight, leaving trash on the beach, all of these things have shown market improvement. They're really improving on Hilton Head in the last decade.
Because of you. I mean, really. I mean, look at what you've done. That's awesome.
I feel like it's just what I needed to do. I don't feel like I've over and beyond. I feel like it is just the necessary thing to do.
I think it's incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, so imagine that a family moves to Hilton Head and their grandchildren are visiting these same beaches decades from now. What do you hope they will still be able to experience, say, 30, 40, 50 years from now because of the conservation work that you're doing?
We're experiencing a recovery now, and I think that kids come to the beach now, and they already know what those triangles are on the beach. They know what a sea turtle is. There's a really big difference between our generation and these kids. They've seen it on TV, and they've seen that. I think that Hilton Head prefers to have the generational visitor here because they have a connection to the island. They feel like it's more like home.
Yeah.
So with all of the education that's going on in the Marine Science Center that we hope to open, I feel like they'll bring that knowledge back and build on it every year. They will not even consider leaving trash on the beach. Filling your hole will just be like, duh, everybody does that.
Right. It'll be kind of like smoking used to, everybody smoked. And now if I hope you don't smoke if you're watching this, but now it's like you're the oddball if you smoke in a public place, and that used to be normal. So now sea turtles is becoming normal to take care of things. Last question, and thank you so much for taking your time to come over here and to share this with me and share it with the person watching this. For somebody who loves Hilton Head or is considering making Hilton Head or the Lowcountry home, what's one thing that you'd want them to take away from this or to remember out of this entire interview?
Well, I think when you come to the Lowcountry, it's important to get to know those details that I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. The value of it is knowing what you're looking at. Because it's not just marsh grass, it's not just pluff mud, it's not just tide. We call the tide the rhythm of the South, not this. Did you know that? Did you know ebb and flow is tide? It's not the ebb and flow of your day, it's the tide.
Yeah.
And the Lowcountry is called the Lowcountry because it's low country.
Yeah.
It's
physically low.
Physically low. And the reason is because we are the ocean floor here. We are seaward of the fall line. We were the ocean floor. That's why I can find that megalodon tooth that far into the sand and under the May River.
Yeah.
So there's a history and there's a culture as well. I mean, just to add to all the environmental details and beauty of it all, just so much to know. You could spend the next decade learning these details. And part of the reason that our oysters are stuck together has to do with the fact that we don't have rocks, and we don't have rocks because of the fall line and the fact that we live in the Lowcountry, which was under the ocean. So it's just, it builds on itself, and it's like, wow.
So if you come here and you want some one-on-one information, you have your charter boat business.
Yes,
so that's
I do.
one way to get some of this information. And you mentioned a few other resources. So get plugged in, learn about this area. If you're going to come here, the more you learn, the more you're going to appreciate it. And the more you're going to appreciate it, the more you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. And if you want to learn more about Sea Turtle Patrol, seaturtlepatrolhhi.org.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many videos that we've produced to show you what we do on the beach. It's a full comprehensive 8 minutes
Yeah.
that you take out of your day to watch it.
Well, I know like probably my takeaway from this, one big thing that stood out for me is you said the sea turtle's an ambassador. So it's not just about the sea turtle. It's about our entire environment. It's about our entire ecosystem. It's about all the natural beauty that goes on here and all the preservation efforts.
Yes.
And the sea turtle is just something that we can use as a representative of the entire Lowcountry ecosystem. So take care of the sea turtles and everything else takes care of itself, sort of.
I'm sure they don't mind if I use their face as a marketing tool.
All right. Well,
For
thank
environment.
you so much for taking your
Welcome.
time. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I know the person watching this also appreciates it. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed meeting Amber, but more importantly, I hope that you got a deep appreciation for the sea turtles here on Hilton Head Island, what they represent to the local ecosystem, and what you can do to make a difference. Of course, if I can help you find your own Lowcountry lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you could always book a Zoom call by going to lowcountrylifestylesteam.com. As always, I hope to meet you in person at some point, but if not, I will at least see you on the next video.